Okay, this is the cost of common stock. I think we already explained this. Okay, there are two sources of common equity. The first one is internal common equity that's coming from the retained earning, and the external common equity is coming the new common stock issue. Why this is called external? Because you are trying to get money from external investor. This is the internal investor. So the question is, do these two sources have the same cost? Okay. Can you see the slide? Okay. Since the stockholder own the firm, okay, it's simply the stockholder require return of require rate of return. Since the stockholder on the firm's return earning, the cost of simply the stockholder require rate of return. Why? Okay. Because if the manager are investing stockholder funds, stockholder will expect to earn acceptable rate of return. So this is actually the undistributed of dividend. Okay. So the dividend that being captured by the company, and the company can use it, let's say, for others purposes. Can be investing, can be used for working capital, something like that. Okay, this is cost of internal equity. In the cost of internal equity, you can use by using the dividend growth model. You know, okay, this is from the previous chapter, the dividend growth model. So I'm going to recall in this chapter. Okay, this is the equation. KC is the cost of capital, is equal to D1. D1 is the dividend for the next year. Okay, remember that you have D0 and you have D1. Okay, D0 is existing dividend. D1 is the next year dividend divided by price and plus growth. And then the second one, use the capital asset pricing model, or this is CAPM. Okay, capital asset pricing model. Okay, this is the equation of the capital asset pricing model. This is KJ, okay, cost of the capital, J. And then KRF is cost of risk-free rate. Excuse me. This is risk-free rate, okay, risk-free rate, expected rate of return, okay. And plus beta, you know beta, you have beta, the highest beta is somewhere between 1. So 1 beta will be considered as the conservative. Below 1 is less conservative. If it's higher than 1 is considered as the risky stock. And then you have KM, or required of return of the market, and subtract with this KRF, which is this one, the risk-free rate. Remember that risk-free rate could be standardized as the government bond, or probably you can use the money from the interest from the bank. Okay, if you put your money in the bank, time deposit. Okay, this is cost of external equity. Remember that in the cost of external equity, if you want to issue new bond, then you have to pay a certain amount of money to the issuing company, let's say to the investor bank or security company. Okay. You have NPO is the net price. Okay, the net price is the price after you subtract with the flotation cost. The net proceed to the firm after flotation cost. This is after the flotation cost. This is weighted cost of capital. Remember that In the weighted cost of capital, this is WCC, you actually weighted the cost of capital with the weighted average cost. But in here, you have to multiply with the cost itself, the capital structure and the cost itself. So this is the weighted cost of capital. An example will be, this is capital structure, this is capital structure, capital cost, capital sources. Okay, if your sources coming from debt, let's say the cost is 6%, then you might use for the structures is only 20%. Okay. And then source numbers 2, let's say you have the preferred stock. And the cost of the preferred stock will be 10% dividend every year. You will likely like that. Okay, they pay the same amount of money, the prepayment. But the capital structure is only 10%. The last one is common stock. The cost will be much, much higher compared to this because you have to share dividend in here to them. And you're also taking so much structure in capital in this capital structure. So if you add this up, it should be 100%. Okay, if you add this up, it should be 100%. Okay. So to calculate the weighted cost of capital, then you have to multiply this cost of capital with this cost, and then you multiply with how much money that you have. Okay, so this is an example. Let's say weighted cost of capital, 20% debt, this is capital structure, 10% preferred stock, 7% is common stock. So this is how you calculate weighted cost of capital. Okay, 20% you multiply with the cost. Okay, the 20% is the capital structure within your capital needed. 6% is the cost, and then you plus 10%, multiply with the 10%, 10% here the cost, and 70% is multiplied with 16%. 16% is the cost. So this is the weighted cost of capital. Yeah, that's the weighted cost of capital. Okay, any question? Okay, I'm going to share with, where is my, okay. Okay. This is an example of what I just explained to you on the slide, but then I put another example in here in Excel in order for you to do some practicing at the end of the class. So at the end, after I explain this, you have to do this practice. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions in here. But you can submit it to my email. Okay. I have to, oops. Okay, let's start with this cost of debt. First example, calculate cost of debt. Okay, this is an example. The firm plans to offer the new bond issue, but first want to estimate the cost of debt of the new debt. Okay. The firm investment banker, okay, if you want to issue the bond, you have to go to the investment banker. So the investment, that's the one who charges you for the flotation cost. So the firm investment banker estimated the 30 years bond with the 1,000 face value and 7.75% coupon will pay annually of 77.50. Okay, you just simply multiply the interest of the yield with the face value. So this is every year. Your payment is every year. and could be sold for the investor of 990.81. So this is the present value before subtracting with the flotation cost. Okay. In this case, the firm A's creditor require of 783% rate of return. So if you're a creditor, this is your expected return. So the cost of capital to the this is higher than 7.83%. However, because the firm will have to pay flotation cost of this, when issue the security, the flotation can reduce the net proceed to a firm of this. Okay. So this is your present value actually. Your present value coming from 9980. This is 9980 because you're selling this to the market, but then you have to subtract with the flotation fee, $12. Okay. This is how to calculate this. This is using the calculator. Okay, the end period is 30 years. Present value, this value is coming from here. Okay, 970 is coming from 990.81 minus 12.50. 998.81 is your present value because you sell the bond. This is the money that you will get in the present. This is your future value. The payment, okay, this is the yield that you have to pay every year. That's the payment. $77.5. This is your future value. Your future value is your maturity date, the 1,000 here. Okay, then you use this function, compute, then you can find this is you can find this 7.94%. That's before tax. If you want to use mathematical solution for this, you can go back to chapter 7, and then you can use the calculation using mathematical, or you can use this present value. Okay, this is the payment. Okay, this is pay fee if a, this is annuity, and you have future value of this. This is your yield plus this is your maturity date, so you can find it. Okay, you can find percentage. So this is before taxes. So in here, we want to know the value using after taxes. So one final adjustment is necessary to obtain an estimate from after tax of that, assuming that the firm A get the 34% tax, corporate tax. Okay. So this is the equation, the after tax cost of debt. Based on this, your value is 5.24. So this is the after tax. This is the before tax. So the before tax usually interest rate will be higher compared to after tax in here. This is 7.94%. This is 5.24%. The 34% here you get from corporate tax. Okay, tax rate. It depends. Let's say in Indonesia is only give you like 25%, so it's supposed to be 25%. Okay, this is for cost of debt capital from bond. And the second one is cost of, this is preferred stock. Okay, you can just read the question. Okay, on March 26, Ford Motor Company had issued a preferred stock trading on New York Stock Exchange. Okay, this is the closing price, 23.45, and the dividend annually 2.25 per share. Okay, this is flotation cost. Flotation cost is $2. So what is the cost of preferred stock in here? The cost of preferred stock is preferred stock dividend divided by the net profit per preferred stock. So the net profit is the closing price minus flotation cost. So it would be this 10.49. Oh, by the way, in the preferred stock, because the preferred stock paying the dividend after the tax, then you don't need to adjust for tax. Okay, there is no adjustment for tax in here. But the cost of debt, you need adjustment in here, the 34% taxes. But the cost of capital, you don't need, because you already paid the debt by the company. Okay, and then the third one is dividend growth model. Okay, can just read this first. I'm going to explain it. Okay. Okay, this is common stock. This is the price, 54.40. The dividend is 0.28. This is last year dividend, okay? Because this is 2002, this is 2001. In 2001, this is they have to pay 0.25. If the dividend are expected to grow at the rate of 14.6%, okay, then the expected dividend for 2001 will be 25 cents. So what is the investor record of return? So the cost of here, this one. This one is from the return earning, okay, from the return earning. If you calculate from the return earning, then this is 0, okay, 0.28 here, the dividend, then you multiply 1 plus this one, okay, 1 plus 14.6%, so it will be 1.146. Then you divide it with the price itself, and you plus with the growth, okay, here. It should be this 15.18%. This is from the return earning. The second one, this is internal. Okay, remember this is internal. This is external. Okay. The external, which means you have to get money from the external investor. So let's say that the Walmart decided to issue the new common stock, then it will incur a flotation cost. If the appropriation is 6% of the share price or 2%, what is the resulting cost? If there is associated with the flotation cost, then you have to subtract the value with the flotation cost itself. Other thing will be the same, like the return earning. Okay, this value is the same, this value is the same. So there's only slightly different in a number. If you associate it with the flotation cost, you expect it will be much higher than this. This is 15.22%. Okay, so this is the cost to be this one. It's quite almost the same because the file is not really high. Okay, I'm going to share this to you through the Telegram after this. And the last one is this one, capital asset pricing model. It's simple in the capital asset pricing model. You just add it, you just put the value here into this equation. So the KC is cost of the capital is equal to risk-free expected return. This is beta, and then you multiply with market expected rate of return subtract with the risk-free rate expected return. So from here, this one. Remember that in here, in the capital asset pricing model, you have to put beta. Where do you get the beta? You can get from everywhere. You can get from S&P 500, or you can get from the anything. You can find it in the internet. Okay. I think this is it, and this is your question. So please do question number 1, question number 2, 3, 4, and 5. After you finish, please email it to me. Okay. Any question?
Sorry, sir. How about the deadline?
Today.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
You
sir.
can submit it to me until night. Don't submit it tomorrow, okay? Just today. This is actually for your practice. Next week we are going to have a final, and this is actually included. The final probably from chapter 9 until chapter 12. Any other question? Okay, if you don't have any question, then okay, I think hold on. Let me take some picture here. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week for your final. Don't forget to study, even if you just have to study online. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
See you, sir.